One word. It's the one word that has the power to bring a noisy and crowded room to immediate silence. One word. Suicide. The word alone conjures up images and emotions of a conflicted soul who felt no other options existed. One word. But add the word veteran in front of suicide, and our collective hearts break. When men and women answer the call to wear the uniform and put themselves in harm's way for our freedom, the thought of veteran suicide is more than we can bear. Veteran suicide is not a pretty topic. You can't dress it up, you can't clean it up. 2 words, veteran suicide. It brings us to our knees in immediate silence. We don't know what to say, and sometimes we don't know what to do. Partnered with the VA, I'm thrilled to announce that the Independence Fund is launching something new and something different. In veteran suicide prevention. 2 words, Operation Resiliency. I know from my husband's personal experience that when a veteran is catastrophically wounded, the one main, key, central, driving, dominant motivation is to get back to their unit. The military unit is a team that has no parallel in civilian life. The military unit is a living, breathing, moving, and dynamic expression of the warrior ethos. They have each other's back. They won't leave anyone behind. They will counsel and train the weak, and the strong will lead from the front. 2 words, military unit. When warriors come home to re-engage with their families, the military unit that once held them together like battlefield glue now disperses to all corners of America. Though they remain a part of their old unit, daily accountability is all but lost. Peer-to-peer mentoring, counseling, and leadership with boots still on the ground is gone. Operation Resiliency is a new approach to veteran suicide prevention. The Independence Fund will bring old units back together for reunion retreats. We start with at-risk units that saw heavy combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. We know from personal experience that there is a correlation between kinetic combat overseas and higher veteran suicide risk back home. Operation Resiliency provides the training, conditions, and setting to re-establish that team. They will once again have each other's back. They will not leave anyone behind. They will counsel and train the weak, and the strong will lead from the front. We know the numbers. Everyone here in this room knows the numbers. We all know the need to prevent veteran suicide is great. But there's only one number we really need to know. Since 2005, veteran suicide has claimed the lives of nearly 85,000 men and women. Imagine cities like Boca Raton, Florida, Greenville, North Carolina, or Fort Smith, Arkansas gone. There are about between 500 and 1,000 people in this room tonight. Imagine if there were 6,000 people, men and women who should be enjoying great fellowship together, a fantastic meal, a wonderful evening. Each year, more than 6,000 people reach the place that's called veteran suicide, gone. 85,000 and 6,000 are large numbers, hard to imagine, even harder to comprehend. So I want to challenge everyone to think of an easier number. 1. Danica Thomas is my guest and dear friend. I'd ask you to please hold your applause as Danica stands. Our husbands served together in combat. They were both severely wounded and they were each awarded 2 Purple Hearts. But now Danica is their surviving spouse of veteran suicide. For those of you who can, please stand right now with Danica. All across this great room, I'm going to ask you to grab the hands of the people next to you until we are all connected to each other and ultimately back to Danica. We'll take a moment of silence and think about the 6,000 men and women who will add their names to the rolls of veteran suicide by this time next year. But with the power of those in this room, each of us has the power to connect with one. Each of us can and should be the shining light of hope to at least one veteran throughout the coming year. And when we are all together next year, when we each focus this coming year on one veteran, when we actively encourage our veterans to take advantage of the VA's crisis line, when we each become trained, aware, and use the SAVE, signs, ask, validate, encourage, and expedite, And when programs like Operation Resiliency bring military units back together for peer-to-peer mentoring and accountability and professional guidance, then perhaps, God willing, when we're back here next year, we'll talk about smaller numbers. And to that I have just 2 words. We will. God bless you, Danica. God bless everyone here tonight, and God bless our men and women who have won our nation's uniform.